Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. We are going to be discussing today the high flow cat that I installed in the car. So I've been getting a couple of questions, or rather just a couple of people asking me about the high flow cat, and I know there's not a whole lot of information about it on S2KI, so I wanted to post a video about it. So I've had the high flow cat for a little bit on the car, just kind of testing it out, see what's good. And it is currently mated to the stock OEM piping, so there's no change from the exhaust system other than the high flow cat itself. So you have two different options that you can choose from when upgrading from the OEM cat. You have the test pipe, or you have the high flow cat. Now, I did have a test pipe on the car for a little bit just to kind of test it out, see if I liked it, but we'll discuss that a little bit later in the video. And then now we have the high flow cat installed. All those products are Berk products, and so far they've been pretty good. Now, getting into the actual main purpose about why I chose to get a high flow cat into the car was because I was reading a couple articles on S2KI in regards to the way the OEM cat responds to lowering VTEC on the car. So the best kind of performance you can get out of the OEM cat is if you lower the VTEC to about 5,500 RPM. Now, the problem isn't so much flow, because the OEM cat actually flows pretty well. It has to do more with the way, I guess, it has to do with sound waves, it has to do with resonance. So there's an article on S2KI, you can go and search it up. You can type in high flow cat versus test pipe S2000, it'll show up on S2KI. And there's a whole article in regards to why the OEM cat is bad and why a test pipe and a high flow cat may be the best bang for your buck. Now, before we get into the way the car sounds and some videos in regarding to where everything kind of sounds and the way it performs, I'm gonna tell you straight up, the car will sound a little bit, it sounds tinny. It sounds like there's a little bit of rasp, not too much. There's a little bit of drone, I would rather say, at about 3,000 RPM with the high flow cat. So getting to about 3,000 RPM with the OEM exhaust, you will hear a little bit of drone. But other than that, it sounds just like stock. I'm not going to tell you guys that it sounds a little bit different. Maybe it sounds a little bit more tinny, a little more metallic, but it doesn't sound anything different than the way stock sounded. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut to the video where I'm driving, and you can hear a couple shots of me in the car. And also, maybe we'll get some shots of the GoPro outside, taking a video of how the way it sounds from the outside. And I'll catch you guys there. guys, welcome back. So what I want to take away from this, or what I should tell you guys, is that you will get a benefit in performance with just the high flow cat on the OEM exhaust. Obviously, if you go bigger diameter piping, it's gonna make the car breathe a little bit better. But if you don't want to spend too much money on exhaust, and if you just want to drop in a little something, then I would recommend high flow cat. If you want to do a test pipe, it's completely up to you. You can totally do a test pipe, but just remember that in some places it's not legal to do a test pipe, and it kind of does smell, and it's kind of not okay to be behind someone that has a test pipe. It really does smell, and it's basically just straight up carbon monoxide. But yeah, so the takeaway from this is this: if you have an 06 plus car, perfect. That's going to be like the best bang for your buck because of Flash Pro. Flash Pro will enable you to tune the car a lot easier. If you're really good at tuning and you can tune it yourself, even better. But if not, then of course there's like, you know, taking it to go get tuned or getting an E-tune done in the car. E-tune is the route I'm going to go because I have no idea how to tune the car. I'm not going to try to mess with something that's probably going to mess up my engine. So I'm going to leave that to the professional to take care of it. But you know, if you could do test pipe wherever you're from, or if this is your track car and you don't want to do much other than that, then install a test pipe onto the car, then hey, it's a pretty good deal. I would say go for a test pipe if that's the goal. More power with test pipe, but according to Berk, you're gonna get about 85% of the flow with the high flow cat. So they're kind of up there. And like I mentioned before, or I don't know if you guys read the article yet, but in the article it does say that with the OEM cat there is that resonance issue. You're not going to have that issue with the high flow cat or the test pipe, so you'll be able to lower VTEC a lot lower than, let's say, 5500 RPM, which is pretty much where the OEM cat is maxed out at. With the high flow cat, it's going to be capable of going lower than that. Pretty much you can lower VTEC to wherever your tuner feels it's going to be better for the car. He's going to look at the graphs and tell you, okay, well, you can go to about 4000 RPM or 3800 RPM, and that's going to only engage when you have more than 50% throttle, whatever. It's a lot easier to tune that way, and you know, you can just, you know, mess with it later if you want to, or just, you know, have it retuned. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing much I can really say in terms of the sound. It sounds completely the same. There's just going to be a little bit more metallic noise from the high flow cat, but other than that, it's going to sound pretty much the same. Well, that pretty much does it for me in this video. I will be seeing you guys in the next video. We'll be doing something a little bit different this time around, and until then, I will catch you guys later.